We're trying this thing again.
Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome to our second question and answer show. I'm Pat from Elite Action Joe Studios with my son and cameraman, Jameson. And off camera is Emma, who you've heard and seen her 1/6 character. Emma, would you like to say hello?
Hi.
Well.
She may be participating, but she did not feel comfortable being on camera as of yet. So she'll pipe in when she wants to. But here we go. So we got a lot of good questions this time. I'm going to start with one from Poplox4583. What channel is that?
Poplox4583.
Emma, what channel?
Poplox 4583.
Right.
Good job.
Okay. So remember we said it didn't have to be toy related, Joe related. So Cody jumped right off and asked us, but only I can respond, what the best and worst part of basic training was. And I had to give that some thought because there's not a lot of great parts. I guess for me the worst part would be the road marches and the exercises because I had some issues with my shins. So that was the worst part. The best part, of course, after I thought about it, I'm like, guns. So the guns and the learning and the camaraderie, but mostly the guns. So good question, Cody. I'm sure that would be yours also because you like the guns. All right, so that was Cody's right off the bat. Unless you guys went to basic training and didn't let me know.
No.
Okay, Emma did not go to basic training. Jay almost,
I can't disclose.
Jay was going to go, but you guys know he had a few slight health problems, kind of kept him out of the service. But he
Yeah.
did volunteer to the U.S. government to be taken apart and rebuilt as a cyborg. But we have not received that call yet.
Yeah, they said they really can't build him better this time around.
So okay, should we jump into Adams?
Yeah,
or
why
Should
not?
we go to let's save Adam for last
All right.
because Adams
Save the questionable for last.
he's a decent fella. Okay, so 1/6 Studios had this question. First question: did we have a channel before? We actually did not have a channel before, although
We did do a name change at one point, just
That's
to
true.
so we stood out better.
Yeah, we started off as Ready Set Joe, but then we realized there was 27 Ready Set Joes, and none of them had anything to do with G.I. Joe. So we went with Elite Action Joe Studios. The second part of that was what made us start a channel, and we've actually touched on that a couple times.
Yeah, we have. I had a stop motion class in high school, and so from that we made a few stop motions for some of my class projects, and then we decided, hey, we should really put these online, share them with others, and get our hobby
And then, so that is how it started. We were talking about it, and then COVID hit.
Yeah.
And so during COVID, Jay was basically remote learning. And one day he said to me, because I was getting on to him about his school and grades, and he goes, that's okay. I just want to, when I get out of high school, I'm just going to make money on YouTube anyway. And I laughed at him, and I said, sure you are. He goes, seriously, why don't we do a channel? And I said, what do we do? And he goes, like, you do those stop motions or something. I said, if you get good grades, we'll go ahead and we'll do a channel. And we watched a lot of Skunk Works, and he kind of then I started going, maybe he's right, maybe we should try that. And lo and behold, he got great grades and nailed it, and so we threw up the 2 stop motions.
Thanks, COVID.
And Jeff, and your stop motion teacher, whoever, what's his name?
Oh, Mr. Shrek.
Mr. Shrek. Thank you, Mr. Shrek. And then Emma, of course, got involved with her voices, and she's working on the channel.
Name is not ready to be.
Yeah, she doesn't know the name yet, but she's working on something. Okay, so that was a good question. Thank you, 1/6 Studios. You guys should check him out if you haven't. Richard Brown, you guys know Richard Brown from our community spotlights. He asked, what might our next custom be? Human and Android or anything else? Emma, you got any customs in the works?
Probably an animal.
Probably an animal. Emma is a big animal person. Her channel is going to be based around a lot of animal type situations. Jay, working on anything?
Just the one Jeep that I got for Christmas and was kind of still playing around with.
That's Jay got the 21st century mutt, but it was sort of a, not a busted.
Yeah, it's just kind of
It
missing
doesn't
a
have-
lot of parts. And
It doesn't have all the
pieces.
parts.
It's got 4 working wheels, though, at least.
That's all that matters.
Yep.
And after that, you can just.
Turn it in.
If his brother would just what's it called? 3D print him a steering wheel, he'd be set. But we've been trying to get his brother. He's got a nice 3D printer to print 3D print us stuff since he got it. And I see all these people online printing everything G.I. Joe, and he would have been ahead of that game, but nobody listens to me, except for these two. Now, lie to the camera and say you do.
Yes, all the time.
Emma?
I actually listen.
She actually does. Okay. So that was Richard Brown. Thank you, Richard. The Toy Boy. If you guys haven't checked him out, that's a good channel, too. Do you have any other hobbies besides G.I. Joe? That's a great question. That's kind of what we were looking for. Like, you guys get to know us a little better outside of the G.I. Joes. Thank you for that question. Emma, you want to field that?
Well, I like to read.
Speak up real loud, too, because I noticed the other day this mic was a little down.
Yeah.
So.
I like to read, draw, and I also like to play video games, especially with my brothers.
Those are good choices.
Well, I have to say, obviously, Legos. I love them. And that's been since I was just a wee lad.
Anything
Shorter
else?
than you.
Anything
Yeah. I do like video games. That's another thing, playing with her. And then tinkering, just broad, just taking stuff apart, putting back together, or, yeah.
He definitely tinkers. For me, I love to write. I've talked about that. I've written several books, nothing published yet, but working on them. I haven't been able to write, of course, because I'm actually getting to the point where I can. You guys saw me one day when I was trying to write and it hurt. Well, now I can scribble and it doesn't shoot paint all the way up, only like to the elbow. So I should be back to writing here. Other than that, I like to read, watch TV, mostly YouTube channels.
Like a little channel like maybe,
SpiderMonkey.
SpiderMonkeyFilms. May not have heard of it.
No, I don't. I'm not a big TV I don't watch TV shows or anything, but I do. I get on YouTube a lot, of course, just to follow everybody. And there's so many great people out there that we're pretty consumed with that. Other than that, I just like to play with the kids. Whether it be outside. Well, we haven't been outside because of me, because of my injury. But we won't go down that whole boo-hoo route. So we do have a lot of hobbies. Thanks for that question. This one is from Major Tom, and it's, I think, pretty much for me. Now, I did wear this T-shirt for Major Tom, and because it's a large, and since my injury, I've put on about 20 pounds, and I can see it every time we film. And this was a large, so it's a little baggy right there. This is a Mount Rainier, Washington shirt, which is about as close as I've ever been to Tom's house. Because I think I drove up as far as and correct me if I'm wrong, Tom. Is it Snohomish or Snohomish? That's a great little place. I went to there, and I think I went up to Mount Vernon, but is that past that? I'm not sure. I don't remember. I know Blaine, Washington is about 3.5 hours, if I'm right, from Rainier. Let me know. So on the last one we had, I had mentioned my car, the 70 Chevelle, and me and the guys got into a big thing about cars. Everybody was texting pictures, and so Major Tom's question was very specific. He asked if a 71 Dodge Charger RT 440, which I assume is his, versus a 1970 Chevy Chevelle SS with a 454, who wins? He said 1971. Mine was in 1970. I did not have the 554. But if I had the 554 and he had the Charger, I would say it would be a tie unless he got a little squirrely, and then I would just road warrior him all day long. Just kidding, Tom. No, I don't know. Hopefully a tie. But fortunately, I have kids now, so I don't race, drink. Basically anything that's fun but dangerous I don't do anymore because I love my kids too much. But it'd be a fun race, wouldn't it, Tom? But that's a great question. Great question. All right, let's go to, okay. Okay, I'm going to say that because that's a good question. We'll go to Adam. Adam's got several questions. We got to get I forgot about the Lockdown Productions. So let's touch on that first.
Yes.
So Lockdown Productions, who, if you guys haven't checked him out, boy, you're missing out. This guy's toy photography is insane. But he threw us for a loop. And we didn't have a lot of time because he just sent it. Well, he didn't send it. He actually had it in his gag reel from his last video, which was yesterday or the day before, but I just watched it yesterday. And he didn't give us a question. He gave us an answer.
He's playing Jeopardy with us.
So his answer was 42. And he asked us what the question was. So I took it to the kids and I said, any thoughts? And these are some of the thoughts we had. Emma.
7 times 6 is 42.
Could that be the question? Is that right?
That's right.
He's just making us do math.
I don't know, maybe. Is 7 times 6 20 or 42?
Yes. 6 times
I'm
7
not a
is
math
42.
guy.
Neither am I. But I feel like you should know that one.
But that could be it. It could be as simple as that.
You know, I have a new theory. Maybe there is no question. He's just screwing with us to make us, like...
And it actually had me going because I went back and I thought, okay, what could the question be? How deep are we going here? So I thought, well, maybe that's how many videos he has up. And I went back and counted. He's got way more than that. Then I thought, well, maybe it's how many times he shouted us out in his gag reel. And it wasn't 42. It was quite a few, but it wasn't 42. Then I thought, what was your other one, Emma? You had one other thought too, didn't you?
How old he is.
How old you are. That could be it. Then, what was the other one me and you talked about?
It could be the 42nd video of ours
Yeah.
that we first shouted him out.
Oh, yeah. So Emma came up with a thought that maybe in our 42nd video is the first time I shouted him out. We didn't have a chance to really do research. Yeah. So we're not giving you a definitive answer.
I'm still thinking he has no real question.
Jay he's cynical. He thinks you're just messing with. But I'm going to do some more research and try and figure this out. But your last video was awesome.
Amazing.
The part where the riot shield guides were holding off the horse, that was, I don't even know how you have that. That's the one blessing when you use smaller figures like him.
Yeah, you can just
the
do
amount
so
of
much
stuff
more.
that you can do with it, like the amount of like it's cool for us. We've amassed our bad guys with the urban camo, and we have about I think 17 now. And when I have them all in frame, I think it looks awesome. But if we had 1,000 of those guys, it would just be insane. But we're going to keep working on that. If you want to give us another clue, you can put it down in the comments next to the other stuff.
Yeah, subscribing, commenting. Emma, what else?
Liking and sharing.
Yeah,
good,
that's it.
Very good. All right. So we're not done with your answer yet. Hopefully we'll have a question.
He's literally playing Jeopardy with us.
So, okay, next we have a guy that I like to call my friend because he's a nut job, just like me.
And some federal agents call him a menace.
We have the same humor level. Me and Adam talk quite a bit, and we went on a tirade the other day about kids today, and it wasn't about necessarily our kids, but we were just talking about how we grew up and the things that we did that were different than how the kids are now. And I'm sure most of you guys out there are the same. Just how you'd leave your house on a Saturday after morning cartoons, Saturday morning cartoons, you'd be gone all day until dark until your mother calls you in. That's how it started, and then we went down. But Adam's awesome from G.I. Joe, The Lost Chronicles. Check his channel out. So his first question, what was your first concert? Now, Emma has not been to a concert. Jay missed almost his whole junior and senior year because of COVID, so he missed out on some opportunities. His mother informed us that he went to one when he was little that I didn't remember, and he said, don't say it because it's embarrassing. And it's dumb.
Yeah.
So we'll skip on my first
one. If I don't
one,
remember it, it doesn't count.
My first one, I don't even know why I went. Not putting the main. Oh, it was Pat Benatar. She's phenomenal. She was fantastic on stage. The second band was The Alarm, who was I don't know. Some people may not have heard, but it was a good concert. I don't even remember why I went. Some friends of mine were going or something because it wasn't necessarily my genre of music. Then the Alarm was a little more than Pat Benatar, but Pat Benatar was much better stage performance. But not my favorite concert. Not that it was bad; it was very good. But I had my dream concert many years later. And if somebody wants to ask about that, I'll answer it. But I'm going to save questions because. Then Adam asks the most random question on the planet Earth. What's your favorite breakfast item? So, Emma.
Bagel.
Emma likes a bagel. Jay.
Bacon, egg, and cheese breakfast sandwich.
Ah, interesting.
Or just pure bacon.
Breakfast item. Hold on one second.
I know his.
Let me think about it for a second.
I think it's coffee.
You know, I was going to say Raisin Bran.
I'd have to say coffee would be my favorite. Now, if you were talking about food, coffee. Okay. So now his next one is a kind of a two-parter because the original, I don't know if you forgot he asked the first one and then gave us these other ones, but he asked, do you have a cryptid story? And then he asked, which cryptid would you prefer to see? So we're going to start with which cryptid would you prefer to see? So Emma, if you could see a cryptid, what cryptid would you like to encounter?
Well, I don't know how many people have ever heard of this cryptid, but in my opinion, a winged wolf.
So in case you didn't hear it because she's a little far away there, a winged wolf would be her choice, although I think that would be terrifying. But she has some gift of talking to animals, so she'd probably be okay. Jay, you got one?
Honestly, I'd have to be very basic and say Bigfoot.
That's basic. That's the greatest answer ever.
He's cool. It'd be great to have like that absolute confirmation in your own mind. And unlike most of them, like, he's not likely to try and just come and kill you.
Well, we don't know that for sure. But
he's not likely.
I don't think he is. I don't think
I'd say he's less likely than, like, a Wendigo.
I'm right there with you. I have been a huge Bigfoot guy all my life, and to see a Bigfoot would be...
A big Bigfoot guy your whole life, and yet you're so small.
That's what we're going at?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's payback for the whole sidekick thing.
Okay. See, he's picking on me now because I'm short and I'm a big dick. Yes, that was funny. He's a Bigfoot guy because his arms hang as low as Bigfoot's down by his knee.
Yeah, so if I let my hair grow out...
I'm almost as tall as you!
What?
I'm almost as tall as you, Dad.
I said him, not you.
I know.
If I let my hair grow out a little bit, sometimes at the supermarket I do get mistaken for Bigfoot.
Well, nobody believes that you're as tall as me until you come on camera. So anyway, so then the second part, which is actually was his first question, do you have a cryptid story? Now, he knows I do because we discussed this, but I actually technically have two, but the one, as I grew older, I kind of just blocked it out. So me and my older brother were laying in a field one day just looking up at the clouds like kids do. Me and my kids still do it sometimes. But we see this weird shiny object going by, and it was going pretty slow. And the weird part was, like, first it looked like it was square, almost like a box, but then it kind of turned slightly and it looked a little longer. But it was very silver and shiny. Now, as I grew older, I sort of like... I go back and forth on it. Could it have been a UFO? I don't know. I think it was probably a plane because the silver, American Airlines, all their planes were silver for many years. There's a lot of silver planes. So that one I don't know for sure. I lean towards the fact that it was just a plane and it wasn't what I saw. The second one, I've gone through my mind 1,000 times, and it bothers me to this day because I know what I saw, but it didn't make any sense, and I still believe it's what I saw because I go back and forth on it, but it was such an image, and at the time I didn't know much about other cryptids other than Bigfoot, but it was a huge bird. It was, to me, it landed in our backyard, but down behind our backyard there was a field and then a pond, and it landed at the pond to drink. And I swear it was a pterodactyl. As I grew up, I wanted to explain it away, and I started looking at giant birds in this region, and there was nothing compared to the size. And the head had a definite, like,
crest
look to it, like you probably won't be able to see that, but it definitely had a crest up and back. It was huge. The wingspan was immense. My sister was with me, and she was terrified. Now I think I was about 10, she was about 8, and she was terrified. She started running. I was backpedaling, and I was watching it. Didn't do anything. I didn't even look at us. It landed, drinking some water. I didn't want to take my eyes off it because I just thought it was the coolest thing I ever seen, and I wanted to just keep myself between it and my sister in case. When she started screaming, I thought for sure it was just going to go up over top of my head, scoop her up, or take her away, but it didn't. Eventually it just kind of lifted off and disappeared. And so, was it a pterodactyl, you ask?
Probably.
Adam is a cryptid guy, and he said it could have been a thunderbird if you cryptid, and he said that's what a lot of people believe a thunderbird is. I don't know. All I can say is I hadn't started drinking yet, so can't blame it on that.
There we go.
Okay, we may have had a film or a camera glitch, so if something seems weird, it is. Which is perfect because we were talking about cryptids, which is odd. I think it finished mine, but in case it cut off, I'm going to leave it there and we'll see in editing. But so Jay, any cryptid stories?
Honestly, not really, other than some like just small little notice an orb here. Just we believe in ghosts, honestly, and that there's some probably in our house, and just little things around the house, but nothing major.
Yeah, we're almost certain we have some activity. We had a lot more before that I believe was a combination, mostly from my friend Brian. But it was funny because right after his father had passed away, the activity that was his almost stopped completely. But Emma had one. Actually, she's had several, but she was going to share one. You want to stand up and just move closer to the mic so you don't get cut off, but you don't have to get on camera if you don't want to. So go ahead with yours.
Well, basically, sometimes I'll see these random, white, ghostly type animal-looking figures just fly by my window. Or one time, I saw one at a door, and it disappeared as I blinked, and it was just, I can't explain it. And you could probably say, oh, it's probably just a random bird flying by, but I don't think there's that many happen to be white birds fly by my window and stuff. Because it's not even like it was just a shadow or anything. It was just always white that I see these weird ghostly figures.
Yeah, we do have some weird stuff that happens at the house. Like I said, it used to be a lot more until that what I just explained. But there is still some activity, and I don't think it has anything to do with it. But we do live our backyard fence. If you jump the fence, you're in a cemetery, which is kind of cool. But and actually, my grandparents are buried there, and the people that used to own our house are buried there because that was my great aunt and great uncle. But I don't think that really has any bearing on it. I think it was more people that were closer to us, and like I said, a lot of it was, I believe, my friend Brian, because he would always mess with my G.I. Joes, which he did actually other places too that I had lived, and so. But so that's about it on Cryptid. So we're going to move on to Peter from Skull Reviews asked, if we were put in charge of bringing back the 12-inch Joe line, what would it be like? Military, adventure team, a raw, other? So for me, I know that I would start off definitely with adventure team, definitely. I would do maybe a run of the original, like reproduction of the originals, but dead on, and then maybe a run of their some equipment, but redone a little bit more realistic. A lot of their stuff was a little hokey looking, but then I would definitely branch to some military stuff, and I don't think I would touch on the Iraq because that wasn't a big part of me. My little brother had those, and I did play with them a lot, collected a lot of them, but I would stick with probably the adventure team. Now, one thing I would add, because me and Emma have had this conversation, I would definitely add some more female figures, because I know there's a lot of females that are into the 12-inch action figures, and Cody touched on this with what some of the stuff he's doing, because his daughter is playing with Barbies and stuff now. And Emma loves her Barbies. She loves to play Barbies with us. But her argument is sometimes we've taken pictures, and a lot of her stuff, of course, being Barbie, is all pink, and she hates that because, you know, she loves other colors, and she likes her girl to look like she fits in with our team. So we try and format some, figure out other, uniforms for her and stuff to make it fit. And we've actually taken some of the Barbie equipment and spray painted it so it didn't stand out so much. So I would definitely work in line for girls and ladies, because we know that this is an ageless hobby. That's where I would go with it, and I would definitely expand the female side of it. And if you are in that boat, if you have Barbies and stuff that you want to incorporate more into active, like military style, adventure style, reach out to Poplocks 4583 because he does some great women's clothes. There's a channel called Filmaholic that just got a bunch of clothes from Poplocks 4583, and if you watch his Poplocks videos, Filmaholic, his Poplocks video, you see a lot of good stuff. And I'm actually gonna have him do some for Emma's Joe's here, or for her Barbies real soon. Jay, what would you do?
I'd go for a more military,
I knew you were gonna say that.
Yeah, I'd expand upon it, such as, the action pilot, he never got an actual jet. All he was ever doing was needing to be saved. Think about it. He had the action pilot raft.
Well, they did have that Irwin jet. We
Yeah,
talked about this.
But it wasn't
Right.
actually for him. It wasn't Hasbro jet. He was an action pilot who was basically reduced to being an action stranded pilot.
Well, I mean, he had, well, the originals didn't have anything.
Yeah.
But the Adventure Team did get the chopper at least.
Yeah, so at least had that. But yeah, the military line kind of.
Peter at Skull Reviews has gotten a 3D printed version of that jet, and we were kind of looking at those because when we kind of talked about this question, and I knew he'd go military because that's his thing. So, but that would be cool to get some.
Yeah, especially expand upon the vehicles. Like,
You hear that, Hasbro? Get your head out of your.
Excuse me?
I don't swear, especially with my kids around. But I think Hasbro know what that beat, man. Everybody that watches my channel, I'm sure agrees with me. Bring back 12-inch line, and if you're not going to do it, there's a link down here with our email. You can send us an email. Tell us to put together a team. I know a couple guys, a couple of little axis of, because you need to bring this back, because it's getting ridiculous now. Don't get me going, because I was in a good mood.
easy.
Gotta get me going, Peter. Hey,
Take
Peter,
your
be
time,
right
Peter.
there with me. Peter, be right there with me. Jeff, Adam, Cody. Well, Cody be with us. He loves the Adventure Team, but he loves his fancy military. He'd be on your team. He'd be helping you organize the military line with you. And then,
Yeah, good.
But no, we would all love to see that. So Hasbro, seriously. I mean, you're already screwing up the 6-inch. I see videos all the time about how you're messing up everything. So quit messing things up. You got great jobs over there. If you don't want those jobs, you call us up. I know a guy from Arizona who he works hard out in the heat. Almost passes out on a daily basis. He'd come work in your little cushy offices putting together a new Adventure Team line. You just give him a call. You want his number? Send us an email. Okay, we're moving on now. All right, so this little channel that I watch occasionally is called SpiderMonkeyFilms. So Tom over SpiderMonkey sent us a couple of questions, actually 3. We're going to touch on the first 2 here. First, if you could travel to the past and give some advice to younger you, what would it be? Emma?
Be more like my sister.
Be more like my sister. What a sweet thing to say. But you should. You should be more like your. I'm kidding. I have great children. Her sister is like the
golden
angel
child.
on a pedestal kind of. She's never given us any grief at all. These 2, on the other hand,
Hey.
Can't make your job easy.
It's just coffee, people. Just coffee. So that's your advice to younger you. Be more like your sister. That's a good one. We're going to have to play this for your sister. Jay, advice for younger you.
I'd have to just convince myself to get into 12-inch instead of 3 3/4 inch a lot earlier. Save the trouble.
What is wrong with you?
I'd have a lot more space in my room if I didn't get into a lot of 3 3/4 inch.
He makes me so proud when he says smart things.
Okay.
Anyway,
Pull yourself together.
for me, I would whip my butt stupid. First thing I would do is I would say,
Don't join the army.
I would say no, I would definitely not say that. I would definitely the most important thing would be a very young me put that beer down, and then I'd smack it out of my hand and kick myself
In the tuckus.
in the tuchus.
In the bad word that no one should say.
That a girl. Anyway, so that's our advices to our younger selves. Now, his next question is, where do you see yourself in 25 years? Emma?
I don't know.
That's the way to be. When you're young, don't look that far ahead. Just enjoy today. Jay, any ideas? Any thoughts?
No, I just...
You're in the cusp of not young anymore.
Don't go there. You won't like it if I do.
Right. Well, I don't know. Hey.
I've no clue. I don't know. I just intend to have money, guns, and toys.
Okay, that's a good answer. What'd you say, Emma?
I know how old you'd be.
Save it.
Oh, they're having a fight now. You guys want to see it?
Oh, I thought you were talking to you.
Oh. Okay. Mine would be, hey, you guys know, some of the older guys out there, hey, we'll be happy with 5 more. So I'm not jumping ahead, but hopefully if I do get that many, I will be in charge sometime of the 12-inch G.I. Joe line over at Hasbro. Or they can just give us the rights to it, and we'll take care of it for them. We'll call it the Axis of Adventure Team. Now, we did get a bonus question from SpiderMonkeyFilms. The bonus question is in part 2, because we decided that this part 2, this question, will not fit on this format. We need some time, because this is the greatest bonus question of all time for me. Jay was even excited about it. And so we're gonna cut off here, so you guys enjoy that without ruining your whole day.
That may end up being like part 3, depending on how long this is.
So Tom knows the question, but we're gonna leave it at that. We're gonna wrap this up, and hopefully shortly after this one airs, we'll have the part 2 to this, which will be a SpiderMonkeyFilms exclusive question and answer, and that's gonna be that. So now we are gonna do a very awkward left-handed salute, which, as you know from the last one, we would lock, because so here we go. So till the next one.